suitable or not. So this is our function to do, or it's our duty to try to analysis. The job analysis and design, in my opinion, it should be the first function we should know about the organization. Eva, can you understand? I am going to tell.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. You follow as well. So I think when we have to work for human resource department, so the first function we should try to perform is job analysis and design. And then if we understand this clearly, we will go to the next. We will understand the organization structure. So I try to explain this because I try to explain the basic functions of this department first. Even though it is not in our presentation today, I will try to explain you more in detail next week. Okay, for each function. The second function is human resource planning. You can see human resource planning. So it means that when we work for any organization, we should know how many of our employees and also how many jobs we have, and they are matched or not. So, for example, sometimes we might have more people than job. So we have we call labor surplus. And even in some year, our organizations need more people because we have more job to do. So in that case, we call the labor shortage. So we will talk about this next week as well. And the third function is recruitment and selection. Yeah. Thank you very much for the arrow. So the recruitment and selections, it means that when we need more people to work for us, we have to recruit them and select them because there might be many applicants or candidates. So we need to choose the best one to work for us. So that one. That I am going to tell that if we have a good tools to choose them to draw their attention to come to apply to our company or our organization, and we have the good methods to select them, we can get the good people to work for us. So that is the third function. Okay, go to the next function. Please go on the next. Yes, training. Training enrollment is the definition of what we are going to develop our people, our employees, to make them work better. Training and development, sometimes they are separated terms, but sometimes we include them together. I will try to explain in more detail next week about the functions of human resources. Okay. So the next function is performance management. Performance management means that when the people and employees work for the organizations, sometimes if they work by their own view, the good might not match our expectation. So that's why we try to decide how they can work for us and can meet the organization's need. So we try to allow them to know what we want from them, and we have to report or tell them that what have you done before is good or not for us. So we try to evaluate their performance. So this is a new term, performance management. In the past, we used performance evaluations. Okay. So the next function is about the money or compensation and benefit management. Sometimes we call remuneration management. The easy terms is salary and wage. So when they work for us, we have to pay them for their living and pay them for incentive to work better for us. Okay, that is our function as well. Okay, next function, employee and labor relations. It means that when our employees work with us, sometimes it might occur some problems or some misunderstanding between the administration and employees, or sometimes among employees themselves. They have some quarrel, and that is not good for the organizations. So that's why we have the way how to solve this problem. Okay, so I just want to mention that the human resource functions like this is depend on our definition, because I learned this seven functions according to my book I have written, and I present this one. So for the last one, like the safety and health. So it's not so popular right now in Thailand. So that's why, but when we look for the text in American text or Western text, they usually pay much attention on safety and health as well, because that is good for the employees, and also they try to avoid the cost if we have some dangers in our company or organizations. So this try to cover on functions in this department of personnel management, or department of human resource management, or sometimes we call department of human resource development, something like that. Okay, so I would like to know what questions about this first. If any of you have any questions, you can ask me now, so I can continue my presentation in the next page.
Okay, thank you. Any question, like student? Mas, Mbak? Any question about the human resource management, job analysis, human resources, recruitment and selection, training, until safety and health? In Indonesia, it's okay. Then we will try to translate it to.
Please.
In Indonesia,
Please.
Bu, saya ingin bertanya.
Ya, silakan.
I want to send my greeting for Mr. Samrit Yossomsakdi.
Yes.
Sawadee-khap.
Can please call me Samrit? It's okay. Okay. Easy.
Okay, to call the
Samrit,
senior with name only.
Yeah. Oh, you call me Ajahn Samrit? Okay. Ajahn in Thailand, like Park or Bua? Okay.
Ajahan, Mas, Mbak.
Yeah. You can
Ajahan.
call me just Ajahn, it's okay.
Ajahan, ya. Ajahan itu profesor ya, Mas Udin?
It's like kind of this.
Ajahan apa?
Bisa guru atau dosen, Acan. Acan it's mean like lecturer or teacher. Is it right?
Anyone.
Oh, anyone.
Who teaching, who like a teacher, something like that. A teachers.
Oh.
Ajahan, this lecture also live streaming on Radio Unesa and Radio Terminal in our department.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any other functions different from this one, or you pay much attention on that? Do you have any other?
Yes, Achan. This online lecture we present in YouTube online.
Yeah.
Also,
In YouTube online also.
Okay. Don't mind.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
in this section also attended by Ibu Indah.
Yeah, Bu Indah.
Indah, may you show your face?
Good morning,
Good
Professor.
morning, Bu Indah.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
How are you?
Ibu
Good.
Indah belum not yet attending this online lecture.
Yes.
Okay, Rahmat Hidayat, go ahead with your question.
Okay. So,
Yeah, but-
any questions? Please?
yeah, let me continue. So I can call you Achan, right?
Okay. Yes. Thank you. So you are Hidayat. Hidayat.
Yeah, my name is Rahmat Sukron Ardi Hidayat, but you can call me Rahmat or Ardi. I'm from a student of Surabaya State University.
Okay. Okay. I see. Okay. So many students, I could not remember the names, but it's okay. Thank you. And nice to meet you. We can communicate more. Okay.
Okay.
Ask me.
Okay, nice to meet you too, Achan. So
Yeah.
I can see the picture of Fajira Longkorn, the king of Thailand, I think, on your back, right? That is.
Oh yeah. My former king.
Yes.
The late king, and the late queen. But she is still alive, huh? Okay.
Yes.
King Lama 9. King Lama 9. So you ask about the picture. Okay.
No, no. That is just the orientation for the opponent.
Okay.
If only for the opponent. Okay. So I want to ask you, as you know, Indonesia is a democratic country, and then how do you think about Thailand? Because as we know, Thailand is a monarchy system in government. So
I know.
is there any difference regarding human resource management in the public sector from the top and the bottom position in government?
Yes. I
So
see.
what is your opinion about it? Is
Okay,
there
I see. I understand.
a difference about human resource management for democratic country and monarchist country? And how about how do you think about the human resource in your country in Thailand? Because I just only the public sector in Indonesia, but I don't know well in Thailand.
I see. So I may I answer your question? Okay.
Yes.
Do you have any more questions, or just only this one first, and then ask me later again?
No, that's all. You can go ahead.
Okay. So I think right now, I think only the head of the state is different. The head of the state is different. In Thailand, we call the Kingdom of Thailand. It means that the king is the head of the state, and Indonesia is the republic. So the president is the head of the state as well, and also he is not only head, but Jokowi, he's not right now. Jokowi is the president, right? That's right.
Yes.
Now.
Now.
Okay. So he is also the head of the state and the executive leader. But in Thailand, the kingdom of the state, the kingdom of Thailand, the head of the state is the king, and the executive leader is the prime minister. So when we talk about the civil servant, so they are similar. They are very similar. They belong to the state under the execution of the prime minister in Thailand. So the government officer or civil servants I think they are the same. They are in the merit system. They have to take examination to enter the government office. Okay, and so please do not mind that Thailand is the king, is the head of state. Just only symbolic. Just only symbolic. But for the time being, it's quite difficult to say because we have some political dilemma. So we just talk about the concept. So Thailand is we call monarchy. It's not absolute monarchy. It's a constitutional monarchy. Constitutional monarchies mean that it's like the democratic and democracy as well. Okay.
Okay. So, may I add my question again?
Yeah.
Okay. So, a few days ago, I looked at my television at home and on YouTube. I can see about Thailand demonstration.
I see.
For
I see. So I think if we talk about this, we might change the topic. I would like to give you. I'm very interesting to talk with you. I am very interested in Thai political dilemma right now. Okay.
No.
Anyway, we try to focus on our topic, our subject. Okay. Sorry for that.
Okay. I do apologize.
Maybe you can talk with me in person. Okay.
Okay. I do apologize.
Okay. Okay. Any question about this theme about the functions of the human resources? Yeah. So I think they are very similar. Like you learn in the university. That's right.
Yes.
To cover on functions. That's right.
Yes.
Okay. So this is a very basic thing you should know when you study about the human resource management in public sector. Okay. So I would like to go to next page. Okay. Let's go to the next page.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Thank you. I will talk to you later. Okay. So please go to the next page. Okay. Next presentation.
Okay.
Buiwa, please.
Okay.
Okay, good. I just want to use this one. So right now, I just want to tell you that some words we use in our subject. Sometimes it's quite complicated and difficult to understand. So when I talk to my student, I try to explain to them how these words are different from each others. And this might different from the other scholars, but it's okay. I think if you don't agree or you agree with me, we can share the idea. So right now, I try to talk about two more words, about the activities and also practices. Usually, we might have heard about best practice. That's right, best practice. And also, you know that we already use the word functions. And also, right now we are going to talk about the activities and practice. So I try to explain the difference or some similarity among them. Anyway, first of all, when I talk about functions, you might learn one more word: responsibility. Functions and responsibilities are the same thing. Okay, when we talk about the human resource functions, we mean the responsibility of human resource department is to work on functions in our organizations. Okay, so when we talk about functions and responsibility, they are the same thing. Right now, we are going to talk about the activities and also practices. Okay, and so you can read from the screen. SR, human resource activities, refer to on concern or relevance, the day-to-day activities that are carried out within the human resource department of each function. Okay. This may include recruitment, selection, training, payroll, survey, employee relations and benefits administration. On function, I explained earlier. So activity mean the day-to-day activities of those functions. Okay, then I go to HR practice, human resource practices. Human resource practices, what is it mean? It means a part conceptual, part implementation of an human resource strategy. Comprise of system, very good, that follow the normal and customary way of doing business. So the term best practice refer to the HR system that have the greatest impact on the workforce and the organization. So every organization, if they are expert and they implement the strategy, they might have some HR practice that are well known to any other company or organizations. So that we call good practice, best practice, something like that. So there are similarity and differences. Some this word. Sometimes when we talk about HR activities, it refers to the functions. But in fact, we talk in detail of each function, what kind of activity they have. So I will explain in more details in my next lecture. Okay. So I want to ask you, all of you, to think in your mind that can you make difference between functions, responsibility, activities, and practice of human resources? Can you make difference among them? Okay, you can go back and to ask your professor about this. Try to explain how there are difference among these words. Okay. So this is really basic knowledge of human resource management. So right now, I will go to the topic we are going to discuss today. Okay. Any problem or any questions now?
Please,
So I
any
would like
question?
Bu Iwa, Pak Budin, so you can discuss as well, and you can ask your student, and how can they understand this word?
Ya, silakan.
Function, responsibility, activities, and also practices. Okay.
Ya, silakan bertanya mahasiswa. Apa namanya dalam bahasa Inggris tidak apa-apa, nanti kami coba untuk diterjemahkan. Ayo, Mbak, Mas.
Atau mungkin tadi ada yang bisa, tadi kan Acan Samrit tanya, ada yang tahu bedanya function, responsibility, activities, and ada satu lagi ya tadi ya. The differences, practice, yes. Mungkin teman-teman.
Silakan.
Might any student want to answer the differences of responsibility, function, activities, and practice?
Okay, very good. Okay. Please discuss.
It's okay if you want to give your opinion of the differences of this all. So let's express your answer to Prof. Samrit.
Okay. Don't mind. You might wonder, and you might have some question in your mind. So I don't want to make you believe me, but this I try to make them easy to understand. Okay.
Silakan mahasiswa. Gak ada yang tanya. Padahal kalau bahasa Indonesia ya banyak yang tanya loh. Loh bahasa Indonesia nggak apa-apa Mas Mbak. Muhammad? Siapa ini Muhammad siapa?
Yes, ma'am. I have one question.
Okay. In Indonesia it's okay, in English it's okay.
It's okay. Okay, you can translate to me later. Okay.
Oh yes. Mungkin pakai bahasa Indonesia aja Bu ya.
Oh, mangga.
Di slide sebelumnya kan
Sebelumnya.
Profesor menjelaskan tentang recruitment. Ya Bu ya.
Ya.
Dan selection. Nah, itu mungkin apa? Are there social criteria to be able to get good recruitment result in human research? Maksudnya gini, apakah ada kriteria khusus untuk menyeleksi pegawai-pegawai yang telah melamar di organisasi kita gitu?
Nah, saja.
Sudah Bu.
Ada yang lain lagi? Ya, sementara mungkin ini satu dulu. Ajahan Samrit. My student question that is it some other criteria for recruitment and selection process to the staff that we recruit for our organization.
So it means that the recruitment and selection process, are there any other criteria? So what that mean?
Ya, begitu kan ya? Adakah kriteria khusus gitu ya?
Yes, ma'am.
Special criteria for general organization.
Oh, so
process.
Okay, so you because this we are going to talk about the functions. I think next week. Okay, next week we are going to talk in more detail about the HR functions. Okay, so I understand that these two words, recruitment and selections, there are some differences between them. Recruitment mean you try to draw any other people attention to come to our company, and selection is the way to select the best people. So I will talk in more detail next week. Okay.
Okay, Ajan.
Okay. So this is just I want you to know the very simple words. Like function and responsibilities, activities and practices. In fact, next week I will let you know more some other words, keywords, like the roles, the roles of the human resource management. Okay, right. Today I will talk about that too. Okay, so you go to next page. Okay, so we will start our lecture today. Then the topic of our lecture today is strategic human resource management. Okay, Buiwa, please go to the next page. Okay, so this I adapted from the textbook, American textbook. It is in the second chapter, the strategic human resource management. So I have taught my students. In fact, this is not the first chapter, it's the second chapter. The first chapter should be the general concept like functions and something like that, system, functions, activities, something like that. So the second topic, but today is my first topic. I talk about strategic human resource management. Okay, so the objective of this topic, the first one is to understand towards the strategic formulation and strategic implementation. Okay, and usually when we talk about management, we will talk about three steps: planning, implementing, and evaluating. And so for this topic, I talk about the strategic formulation, strategic implementations, and of course we have strategic evaluation as well, but really not so important now. Okay, the second objective. So we should know the elements of strategic human resource management. So in each step, strategic formulation, how many elements we should consider, and also strategic human resource strategic implementation, how many elements we should try to consider. Okay, so for the first one, HR roles in formulating strategy. So as a HR department, so we are connected to the organization as a department. So right now we should play more role in helping the CEO to set up the strategy for the organization as well. So this is the changing role. Okay, so I will explain you more in detail. So number 4, relationship between HR functions. I could not see, but it's okay. Anyone can see? Okay. Okay. A relationship between HR and organization. That's right. The planning strategy. Because when we talk about the strategy, we will talk about the organization strategy. So we have organization strategy, and we also have business strategy. So it depends on how big the organization have. So right now we are going to talk about the HR department, and how to link them with the others level, the organization level, something like that. So the objective number 5, the 5th objective is how many strategies they are, and also HR practices to help the organization to implement the strategy. So as I mentioned, we have organization strategy, and HR can make contribution to organization strategy. So how many types of strategy and how we can help them. Objective number 6, HR practices and how to support strategy. So okay, I misspelling. So this might be very similar to the number 5, the continuous explanation. And then the last objective, if you want to be human resource professional, what kind of characteristic or special feature you should have to become HR professionals. Okay, please go to the next page. Okay. So, okay, strategic management. I think all of you might have already studied about this before, about the strategic management. Maybe just one subject you study, and then I try to explain two words. The first one is strategic management, and the second one is strategic human resource management. Okay, so you can see strategic management is process of analyzing competitive situation of cooperation, the formulation of strategic goals, set up its operational plan, and allocation of limited resources to achieve its goal. This is the meaning of strategic management. It's a big subject, okay? When you want to know, to learn this one subject, including this one, so strategic management. Okay, so then we come to the word strategic human resource management. So it means that types of human resource preparedness to help and support organization to achieve its goal. So you see that strategic human resource management is just a part of strategic management of any organizations. So we don't have separate strategy. We use the corporate strategy, and we use our functions, how to operate. We might call HR practice to help the organization to achieve its goal. Okay. So I would like to ask all of you about these two words. The first word, strategic management, is the we call maybe macro level. And when we talk about strategic human resource management, we talk about micro level of the organization in order to help the organization to achieve its goal. Okay. And Bu Iwa, you want to explain to the student, or you can continue? It's okay for me. Okay.
Belum di unmute, Bu.
Okay, Pak Udin. So can you hear me?
Yes, Achan.
Okay.
So you want to explain in more detail before we going on?
Mungkin Achan Samrit ingin jeda itu, Bu.
Iya. Jadi di sini
we just continue, okay?
Okay, Mas Mbak. Jadi I translated on Indonesia.
Okay.
Ajahan, excuse me, because maybe my student will easy to understand.
Yeah.
Okay, good. If we translate it in Indonesia. Jadi teman-teman mahasiswa, tadi udah diungkapkan oleh beliau. Memang kalau kita ini kan ya, ketika menjelaskan biasanya slide-nya habis gitu, baru tanya jawab seperti itu. Tapi beliaunya kayaknya maaf. Sorry. Ini habis saya. Jadi materi kita minggu lalu itu kan tentang total quality management. Jadi sebenarnya materi ini nanti di ininya Bu Rina sih, tapi memang nggak apa-apa. Jadi tadi sudah disebutkan oleh beliau ada fungsi manajemen yang mungkin kemarin juga sudah kita singgung sedikit-sedikit ya. Jadi memang ini yang akan kita jelaskan di pertemuan yang pertama sampai dengan temuan terakhir, karena inti dari Human Resources Management itu kan memang di sini seperti itu. Dan kemudian cuman kita pembahasan kita itu kan sampai di saat ini masih di bagaimana mutu manajemen, bagaimana hubungannya mempertahankan mutu dengan manajemen organisasi seperti itu. Dan kemudian baru sebenarnya saat ini nih nanti selection, sebenarnya kita tuh di perencanaan SDM dan besok adalah selection SDM, tapi tidak apa-apa beliaunya langsung ke strategi manajemen seperti itu. Strategi MSDM. Jadi ini ya jadi di strategi SDM itu dijelaskan ada perbedaan antara formulasi dan implementasi, dan elemen strategi HRM ya. Jadi di strategik SDM strategi itu hal-hal yang akan dibahas itu terkait dengan perbedaan antara bagaimana formulasinya dan bagaimana implementasinya. Yang kedua, elemen apa saja yang kemudian bisa dibutuhkan terkait dengan perancangan strategi Human Resource Management, dan juga peran dari formulasi strategi sampai dengan Human Resources Professional ya. Kemarin kita juga sudah bahas terkait dengan paradigma human resources ya, yang kemudian sudah ke arahnya ke ini sebagai human resources sebagai profesi. Kalau dulu hanya sebagai teknik saja untuk memanage staff saja, tapi sekarang sudah profesi. Terus di sini kemudian beliaunya menjelaskan bagaimana what is strategic management, apa itu strategi manajemen ya. Dia adalah proses analisis ya, untuk menganalisis kompetisi ya, situasi persaingan dari perusahaan, dari organisasi, bagaimana merumuskan organisasi, dan bagaimana merencanakan rencana teknis dan juga alokasi terhadap terbatasnya sumber daya. Nah, kemarin kan juga sudah kita bahas bahwa sumber daya organisasi itu ada 6 M seperti itu. Nah, dan kalau kita hubungkan dengan manajemen konflik, kenapa terjadi konflik organisasi? Karena ada sumber daya yang terbatas yang harus diperlukan dalam organisasi. Nah, ini di sini ya, ini juga tantangan bagi organisasi. Total quality management juga demikian ya, kemarin bahasan kita bahwa sumber daya yang terbatas itu kemudian bagaimana kita manage sehingga kemudian bisa kita manage maksimal, termasuk memaksimalkan manusia dalam organisasi sehingga capaian organisasi itu bisa maksimal. Semua organisasi itu tentunya inginnya adalah satu, terutama kalau di organisasi profit itu adalah profit, tentunya laba. Tapi kalau nirlaba tentunya adalah kalau kemarin kita kaitkan dengan paradigma layanan paradigma MSDM, dulu adalah kuantitas, yang penting profit, tapi sekarang sudah kualitas. Bagaimana kemudian tidak hanya sebanyak apa layanan yang diberikan, sebanyak apa produk yang dihasilkan, tapi bagaimana produk maupun layanan itu hasilnya berkualitas. Gitu. Dan ini ya strategic human resource management, types of human resources preparedness to help ya. Jadi human resources strategi SDM itu adalah juga kesiapan SDM itu untuk membantu dan mensupport organisasi dalam mencapai tujuan organisasi. Semua yang kita bahas di sini memang arahnya adalah untuk mencapai tujuan organisasi. Karena memang fokus kita adalah di MSDM, maka tentunya titik tekannya adalah manusianya yang diatur. Kalau mungkin kita bahasanya adalah nanti di mungkin dulu semester lalu adalah organisasi manajemen ataukah kemudian asas manajemen, itu titik tekannya semuanya karena terkait organisasi secara keseluruhan. Tapi kemudian ketika kita bahasanya MSDM, maka titik tekannya adalah pada manusianya, seperti itu.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Oh, yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay.
Prof. Samrit has already explained about strategy of human resource management. My question, is there already different about strategies on private organization and public organization?
Yeah.
Maybe before that, I have to introduce myself. My name is Taufik Prof.
Okay, thank you, Taufik. So you asked me that there are any differences between strategy management of private sector and public sector. That's right.
Yeah. Strategic management on
Yes, Prof.
private and public sector management.
So you know that when we talk about the public sector, sometimes we talk very broadly. Public sector, not only the government office, but also public enterprises or public organization as well. That's right. And also, when we talk about the private sector, usually they are the company or corporations. So it depends on the public sector itself. There are so many organizations in public sector. Individual organizations. So might have to formulate their own strategy. But when we talk about the government offices, like the ministries or the governmental departments, sometimes they have to follow the government policy. So they have to set their own strategy under the control of the government. And as I mentioned, public sector might include non-profit organization and also profit organization as well. So it depends on the type of the public sector. So when you ask me about the strategy between the public sector and private sector, I think that there are some differences because public sector, even though they are the government office, public enterprise, public organizations, they are stipulated by law. Because public sector, we mean that the money belong to the government, something like that, or the government has some benefit in those public sector organizations. So when we talk about the strategy, we will talk in the micro level of individual organizations. So I don't think that if we talk about micro level, we can see the differences between public sector and private sector, in my opinion. Okay. Yeah. So Taufik, so can I answer your question?
Yes, of course. It's clear, Prof.
Any
Thank you.
Taufik?
Yes, it's clear, Mom. Thank you.
Oh, it's clear. Okay, it's clear and yeah. Clear enough, Ajahan.
Okay. So because my lecture today, I talk the strategic management of individual corporation or company or organization. Okay. So we will not talk about the government office. We talk individual organizations or small unit, micro unit. Okay, not macro as a whole. Okay.
Okay.
So
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you. So go to the next page. Who you are?
Okay.
So this is like the strategic management process. So I would like to tell all of you that usually when we talk about the management or we talk specifically about planning, there will be 3 steps. The first step is planning. The second step is implementing. And the third step is evaluating or following up. When we talk about the public policy, usually they comprise of 3 major the process. For example, public policy formulation, policy implementation, and policy evaluation. Okay, so when we talk about the strategic management, we also talk broadly about 3 steps like this: strategy formulation, strategy implementation, and strategy evaluations. Sometimes when we talk about strategy evaluation, we call it strategy control and follow up, something like that. So usually there will be 3 main steps like this. Okay, so we will try to focus in my lecture today up to first step: strategy formulation and strategy implementation, and also human resource strategic management. Okay, so go to next page. I try to explain each one of them. Okay, so you can see strategy formulation is the process by which an organization choose the most appropriate course of action to achieve its defined goals. This process is essential to an organization's success because it provides a framework for the action that will lead to the anticipated results. Okay, so you can read and you can explain in Indonesia. It's okay. If everyone understand, we go to the second step. I think most of you can speak English and can understand English quite well. Only some of you might want to more explanation in Indonesia. So I don't mind. Okay. Any question?
Any question
about this strategy formulation? It's okay. So we go to next page. Okay.
Okay.
Strategy implementation. Sometimes we call strategy implementation, the same. Okay. Adjective and noun. Okay. Strategy implementation refer to.
Sorry, Ajahn.
No, yeah. Refer to the execution or implementation of strategic plan. So we can accomplish the long-term strategies of organizations. Okay, please. So when we have already set up strategy formulation, then we try to make it realistic to implement it. So execution or implementing plans and strategy to accomplish or to be successful in making the strategy realistic. Okay. So we have to convert it the strategy into the move or action of organization to achieve the objective. Okay, so how can we do that? We need some skills. Okay, the first is implementation skill. So you have to know how to make it successful. Okay, you need implementation skill. The second one is resource allocation skill. You need how to allocate the resource you have. Money, man, money, materials, machine or something. And the third one, you have to check and follow up skill. It means that you need to be careful of what you have allocate. You have to follow. They have already done the same, they plan and inform us or not. And the last one is managerial skill. So in order to make the strategy implementation successful, you need at least 4 skills. Okay, so each skill is very not easy to learn. You have to study and you have some experience. It's kind of, one subject of each skill. Okay. Any question about this page?
Okay. Any question, mahasiswa? In Indonesia is okay.
Baik,
Okay.
mohon maaf.
Ya, silakan.
Mau bertanya dalam bahasa Indonesia ya, Bu?
Ya, nggak apa-apa. Jadi, apa namanya, begini juga, maksud saya gini, kalau terkendala masalah bayar jasa atau mungkin nggak ada diskusi, itu tambah sayang sekali, kan seperti itu. Nggak apa-apa, dalam Indonesia nggak apa-apa. Itu, silakan.
Ya, pada tahapan strategi implementasi ini, apa saja masalah yang muncul dalam tahapan ini dan solusinya seperti apa, Bu?
Terus, ini lagi? Ada lagi? Sudah? Itu aja, Dwiki?
Iya, Bu.
Oh ya, masing-masing PJ tolong nanti di ini ya, apa namanya, dicatat yang bertanya yang partisipasi seperti itu, atau mungkin ada yang mau menambahkan, monggo dicatat ya. Ada lagi barangkali yang bertanya? Any question for?
Saya.
Ya, silakan. Siapa namanya? Ini kok nggak kelihatan wajahnya. Mami. Ya, silakan.
Paulina.
Ya, Mbak Paulina, ya silakan.
Strategi implementasi itu kan ada macam-macam ya, dari bawahnya termasuk dari skill, terus juga manajer dan sebagainya. Insya Allah hampir sama pertanyaan saya, cuman jika suatu kendala itu terjadi jika suatu kendala itu terjadi dikarenakan kesalahan dari pemilah itu sendiri dan proses
pemilah itu apa?
Semacam kan sebentar Bu. Kan dari ini artinya strategi implementasi ya Bu ya.
Ya, betul.
Nah, di dalam strategi implementasi itu kan ada pilihan-pilihan yang ada di bawah itu. Nah, pertanyaan saya itu hampir sama seperti Dwiki. Problem kan, jika ada suatu problem. Tapi problem ini tuh apabila terjadinya dari yang memilah, maksud saya itu semacam implementasi tersebut itu menjadikan suatu kesalahan dalam melakukan pemilihan gitu loh Bu.
Salah milih pegawai gitu maksudnya.
Enggak Bu, enggak Pak. Ya, tetapi itu terjadi ketika sudah melakukan hal yang ada di ini.
Ya, terus?
Nah kan kalau udah seperti itu kan otomatis ibarat itu udah terlanjur masuk, antara akan ada perbaikan atau bahkan melakukan penerapan lagi yang itu ditujukan untuk apa istilahnya, mencari gitu loh Bu.
Nah, yang baru itu nanti dipecat.
Iya.
Oh iya, ini
malah hilang semua.
Maksudnya Paulina gini, kalau misalnya kita merekrut ya, sudah mengimplementasi salah satunya kan rekrutmen, dan kemudian pegawainya itu kok ternyata tidak sesuai dengan harapan yang diinginkan, itu apakah sebaiknya diperbaiki pegawainya atau mungkin kita mencat dia dan kemudian merekrut lagi begitu?
Iya.
Oke. Kalau yang Dwiki saya ulangi tadi bagaimana masalah masalah yang akan muncul dalam mengimplementasikan ini strategi implementation, iya bukan?
Iya, Bu. Jadi pada tahapan strategi implementasi ini apa saja kendalanya? Karena kan di setiap strategi itu kan ada yang pro, ada yang kontra. Jadi seperti itu. Jadi solusinya seperti apa dan kendalanya itu apa saja?
Mungkin itu, saya ingin menambahkan dikit ya. Untuk pemahaman strategic implementation itu bukan strategi implementasi, tapi implementasi strategis. Kalau dalam bahasa Indonesia itu implementasi strategis, bukan strategi implementasi. Ya mungkin khawatir ini ada salah mengartikan. Artinya implementasi yang strategis.
Yang strategis, gitu. Ada lagi, satu lagi barangkali digenapkan jadi 3. Cukup? Ada lagi? Mbak Yeni barangkali mau tanya? Silakan Yeni Puspitasari, barangkali.
Tidak, Bu.
Oke, ya udah cukup 2 dulu ya. Ajan Samrit, there are 2 students that asking about the first question is how about the obstacle and the problem, and also the solution about how the organization get implementing strategic implementation.
I see. So
the second
okay, the
second
question.
The second question
Yep.
Is how the solution if the organization has regret the wrong stuff. Is it okay if the organization fire him or she or her, or is it okay to get another or fix the wrong stuff?
Or employee. Okay. So I would like to go with the first question first. Okay. The first question, you talk about the obstacles and problems that might occur when we try to implement the strategy, the organization strategy. I think when we talk about that implementation, we have a subject, the another subject we call public policy. Public policy also include three stages or 3 steps. Policy formulation, policy implementation, and policy evaluation. When we talk about the implementation, we will learn the knowledge about the implementation theory. Implementation, usually when we try to implement some policy or even including some strategy like this, they might have some problem and some obstacles that different from one organization to the other organizations. For example, one obstacle of implementing the policy we call the unclear or difficult to understand the objective of the policy itself. For example, if we try to have some organization strategy, and on implementers, they don't understand or they are unclear of the real objective to do that, to formulate those policy. So they might not understand where we will go. So that is generally one obstacle or one problem. So there are many problems. We can study the policy implementation, and we can see each factor that contribute or hindrance the policy implementations. So when you ask me that what are obstacles and problems, so there are so many of them. We might try to conclude in maybe 10 factors that contributing to the success and failure of strategy. So I cannot go in detail right now. We have to talk in detail in those factors in some other subjects, like policy implementation. Okay? Can you understand what my answer? The first one to answer you about the obstacle and problem of strategy implementation. Okay?
Sudah nangkep nggak tadi Mas Dwiki ya tadi ya? Tadi kan Prof Samrit bilang kalau salah satu masalah itu ketika pelaksana atau pegawai tidak memahami dengan jelas tujuan dari suatu organisasi. Nah, itu salah satu masalahnya. Nah, untuk solusinya ya tadi ya berarti harus memperjelas ya, pimpinan memberikan kejelasan tujuan organisasi. Tapi untuk lebih detail memang beliaunya tidak menjawab, mungkin di pertemuan berikutnya. Tapi kurang lebih salah satu contoh untuk persoalan yang dihadapi organisasi itu ketika stafnya atau pegawainya tidak memahami dengan jelas tujuan, the real objective. Jadi Prof Samrit said the real when the staff don't understand enough about the real objective of organization.
So example, thank you, Pak Udin. I would like to tell that on the screen, implementation skill. So that means that we should know about the implementations, what are the problem of them. So you have studied policy implementation. So we know that what contribute to the success or failure of implementing policy. So the same. So that's why we put implementation skill. If you don't have implemented skill and you don't know what are the problem, what are the obstacles, you cannot make the strategy implementation successful. Okay. Please continue. So it's okay.
Yes.
Okay. So the second question about if we have wrong employee or wrong staff who cannot follow the organization strategy, and what should we try to do? Try to change them or try to inculcate them. So you can see the condition that how to make implementation successful. We have resource allocation skill. So we should know how to allocate the administrative resources for for example, money, materials, methods, machine, or something like that. So if you know that someone are not suitable and not qualified to do some job, you have to try to not change them, but try to maybe add more human resources to help, or try to inculcate, try to train, or even though you can recruit some other people. So it depends on your skill of allocation. So if they are not qualified and you still keep them in the same position, and then they could not help the organization to implement. So that will be the problem. So they need, you need 4 skills in order to make strategy implementation successful. Okay, implementation skill, resource allocation skill, follow-up skill, and managerial skill. So this is a very broad answer. Okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ajahan.
Okay, so I think because the topic today is quite difficult to follow as well. So right now we just start what is the meaning of strategy management, and also we talk about the how to make it successful, and then we have more detail. So we go to next page. Okay.
Okay, Bapak Lina, any feedback from you? Enough? Enough. Demute.
Okay, go to next page. So the third step, strategy evaluation and control. So this is not only the final step, but I will not focus on this step because we have so limited time. So please go to next page. Okay. Please go to next page because this one we just want you to know. Okay. So this is the roles of human resources in helping the organization to formulate the strategy. There are 4 kinds of linkage between strategic planning and HR functions. So if you can see these 4 types in our country or in Indonesia or in Thailand, there are so many companies, many organizations. So different organizations have different strategy, have different style. So it depends on what style of the managers, how they link strategic planning and HR function together or not. So I would like to bring this picture to show you that usually they have 4 types of linkage. The first type we call strategic planning and HR functions. They are administrative linkage, or each unit just do its own job. Because they are structures that in different functions. So each one just do their own job. The strategic planning department, they formulate strategy, and HR functions, they just do their HR functions. So the second type of linkage is one way. So the strategic planning formulate the strategy and then give order to HR department to follow the strategy. And the two-way linkage is mean they have some interaction between these 2 departments. Strategy planning department usually belong to the top executive. They utilize and exchange information with HR department. And the last one we call integrative linkage. It's a kind of work together between strategic planning department under the top executive and HR function. They work closely, they work together all the time. Okay, so I want to ask you that how many organizations have different types of linkage which type you prefer, or new human resource management prefer to have? This is my question. Okay. Hello. Hello. No. That's this one first. I ask you. That's so among these 4 types, which one we prefer to have in our organization? Any question? Can you hear me?
Yeah, clearly. There is
Okay.
question from
So-
Mr. Prasetyo Isbanono on YouTube. Sometimes implementation strategy is fail. Why that happen, Professor?
So that I'm going to talk that 4 types we have. Every country has the same. Many company, they have the strategic planning and also human resource functions. That's right. How they connect together. Usually they are 4 types. And I'm asking that which type we prefer to have.
Yeah. Right.
No answer.
I think the administration, the first type, Prof.
You prefer to have that's one. Topic, yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah. I see.
But the first one is the traditional one or conventional one, that they separate function together between planning and human resource functions. But right now on company, if they want the company or the organization to be successful, and they need to work together. So the traditional one, the first type, administrative linkage, that only formal organization. Right now, you know that HR functions department, they improve, they develop a lot. So they work closely with the executive. So I would like to say for the modern management, they prefer to work together as a team. So they don't separately work in their own function only. So they have to work closely together. Okay. So I would like to say that the 4th type, strategic planning and HR function, have to work closely. We call integrative linkage. Most popular in advanced country. Okay. Hello. Okay.
Yes, Prof. Okay.
So right now they kind of domain from the past to the present, and the 4th type is the common one. However, I cannot say on company or corporations they use the 4th type. Now some companies still very traditional. So the executive or the administrator, they do not allow their subordinate to participate, something like that. So it depends on individual organizations. But if we prefer for the new or modern management style, we prefer to work together as a team. Okay. Okay.
Yes, okay, Prof.
If there is no problem, we go to next page. Okay. Please go to the next page. Okay, so this one is the first step, the first stage Sometimes I think I use strategic formulation, or you can use strategy formulation. Is okay, the same. Okay. So this how to set up the strategy for organizations. There are 5 elements. 5 elements we should understand and we should keep in mind. On these 5 elements are very important. So the first element, you can see mission. Mission is mean what you are doing right now. The reason for being is mean what you are doing right now. What kind of business? What kind of function you are doing right now? This is a company. This company or organization. It's not HR. It's not the whole company or organization. The first thing, the organization should know what they are doing or the reason for being. For example, if you are the food processing company, so you are going to produce food, any food, what kind of food, you have to know about that. And the second element, we call goals. You have the target, the objective to do, what you want to success, what do you want to achieve. So you have to set the goal. What is your goals? So sometimes we talk about goals, sometimes we talk about objectives, something like that. Goals and objectives may be similar, or maybe sometimes it's different. For example, goal is really a middle term, but objective might be 1 year goal, something like that. So when we talk about the competitive situations, that means we talk about environment. We can try to separate into external environment and also internal environment. So we have to analyze the external environment and also analyze internal environments. So there are some words that we all, or I think we all know about it. It is called a SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis come from these 2 analysis, external analysis and internal analysis. You can see internal analysis. Internal analysis is mean that your own organizations, you have to think about the strength. You can see S strength, and you can see your weakness. So they come towards S and W. And when we talk about external analysis or analyzing of external environment, you talk about 2 things. Opportunity means good chance. So how the company have the good chance or good opportunity to do something. And the bad side or negative side is threat. Threat it means something not good. Surrounding us, surrounding the company. So these 2 analyses, external and internal, we can make an abbreviate words. SWOT analysis. Have you ever heard SWOT analysis? Come from S strength, W weaknesses, O opportunities, and T threats. Together, we use the first alphabet, S W O T. So what? Please go back to the last page. Okay. So when we talk, we know about the goals and we know about the SWOT of the company. So we have to choose the best strategy we can have. So we might have alternative choice, many of them. But after we consider about our objective, our goals, and then we analyzing, we analyze the external and internal. Then we have to choose the strategic choice. Okay. So this is the last element we call strategic choice, ways to fulfill goals and mission. Okay. So you have to memorize about these 4 elements. Okay. So before going to the next page, I would like to ask you, can you understand this these 5 elements of the strategy formulation or not? Can you have some clear idea? Because this, when I talk about this, I spend much time. Okay. Any contribution from you? Can you follow?
Mahasiswa jelas bisa mengikuti penjelasannya dari Prof Samrit?
Yes, ma'am.
Bisa, Bu.
Karena beliau pembahasan terkait dengan strategic formulation ya, perumusan yang strategis ini terkait dengan 4 hal ini, dan kemudian Anda paham ya, dan ini bahasanya panjang menurut beliau seperti itu.
Who formulate this? I might go to the point, how to operate or implement the strategy successful or not. I think depend on the leadership style. So the leader is very important. So you have the skill of those, and you can fully implement the strategy in the correct way. Okay. If you are not good leader and you are not competent, your organization not go smoothly and fail to implement the strategy. Okay.
Okay. So the key is about is
leadership.
Leader style.
Yeah, leadership style. Okay.
Leadership style.
And the leadership style, they need to have implementation skill, resource allocation skill, something like that. Okay. Okay, good. Any question is okay,
Any question, student?
If I have any question.
Go ahead, Mbak Eni.
Okay. Excuse me, Mister. I have asked any question for you.
Yeah.
Okay. What is different implementation formulation and strategic formulation and strategic formulation, strategic implementation and strategic evaluation, and then how to realization about it. Okay, thank you.
So I could not understand clearly because I have already explained there are 3 steps or 3 stages of strategy management. And the first is strategy formulation. The second is strategy implementation, and the third step is strategy evaluation. So I already explained the first step. There are 5 elements. You should recognize, you should understand, you should try to consider. The first one is the mission for the and then your goal, where you want to go, and then you talk about we talk about the analysis of SWOT analysis. and then we have to set up the strategic plan. That is the first formulation step. Okay, and then we are going to talk the second one, but this is not the subject of strategic management. I just want you to know that we are talking about the HR functions, HR department, human resource department. Human resource departments just only a subunit of organization. Okay, for formulating the strategy, it is the organization duty. As I mentioned, the top or CEO is the one who responsible for that. We are the subunit. Human resource department is a subunit. So when we talk about the implementation of strategy, we cannot talk as the company or organization. We just talk only our department functions, how to contribute to it. So when we talk about the strategy formulation, we talk on behalf of the company, okay, or organization. But when we talk about the implementation, we will talk according to our mission or our responsibility or our function only. So I don't understand clearly what the questions asking me. Can you give more detail? Okay, I can explain.
Mungkin ini loh Hany tadi itu kan Prof Samrit kan bilang kalau sudah menjelaskan baik mulai dari strategic formulation, strategic implementation hingga strategic evaluation sudah dijelaskan sama Prof Samrit. Soalnya tadi kan pertanyaannya ini kan perbedaan di antara ketiga itu. Nah, padahal sudah dijelaskan. Nah, mungkin ada pertanyaan yang lebih yang jelas yang ingin disampaikan terkait tadi apa yang sudah dibahas gitu.
Kalau itu Pak Udin untuk realisasinya untuk bisa membuat ketiga-tiganya itu bisa strategis itu kayak gimana Pak?
Realisasinya
kayak cara-caranya itu membuatnya untuk ketiganya itu biar bisa tercapai itu kayak gimana Pak Udin?
Tercapai dari tujuan masing-masing tahapan gitu ta?
Iya Pak.
Iya Acan, Any ask a question how to achieve the objective for any stage, for any phase of the strategic management process, how to achieve the goals of strategic formulation, how to achieve the goals of strategic implementation, like that. How to
So you mean that the goal of a strategy is the organization goal, okay? The goal is not the step of strategy formulation. The goal we mentioned is the company or the corporation or organization goal. So how to achieve this? We have to set up the strategy formulation, and we have the strategy implementation, like the skill, as I mentioned, in order to achieve the goal. So the goal is the goal of the organization, not the goal of the strategy formulation or the goal of strategy implementation. They are the same goal, the goal of organization. So when she asked about how to achieve the goals, so this we are going to talk about that. So that we have to set up strategy, and we have some technique in order to implement it by using our functions in order to support the goal of the company we are going to go.
Mungkin gini, maybe I want to say the strategic management process, either strategic formulation, strategic strategic implementation, and strategic evaluation are a tools we use to reach the organization goals. Maybe
Yes.
jadi ini jadi implementasi strategis, evaluasi strategis, dan formulasi strategis adalah alat, bisa dikatakan sebagai alat untuk mencapai tujuan akhir dari suatu organisasi tertentu. Is it right, Achan, if we mention that strategic implementation, evaluation, and formulation are a tool for reaching the goals of organization?
That is correct. That's correct. And when we talk about the strategic management process, we are talking about the whole functions of the organization to reach the goal of the organization. Okay. So when we talk about strategic management, we talk about how to manage the organization to reach the goal, to achieve the goals. So strategic management is a macro level of the company or of the organization to reach the goal, to achieve the organization goal. Okay. That's right.
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay. So it is clear, student, yeah. Then we have to move to other slide.
Okay.
Then the next slide, is it?
Yes. This is the next skill, Okay. So we go to this one.
Yes, Achan.
Okay. So you see that I have to say because even though this subject is human resource management in public sector, but when I talk in general, I will talk in the term of business, because this is strategy, and each strategy will be adapted to suit the public sector or private sector is okay. But I want to talk about the human resource function or human resource practices that try to help the organization to achieve the goal. Okay. So my presentation based on business sector. Okay. And you can apply to public sector. For example, the objective of public sector is for people satisfaction. For example, you can add to the firm performance, become satisfaction, something like that. For example, okay. So please carefully listen to me. I think it's quite complicated in this stage of strategy implementation. So it means that now we are going to implement the organization strategy by SR function. So the first element, they are how many boxes in this scheme? 6 boxes. 6 boxes. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. 6 boxes. To see
Boxes.
the first box, strategic choice. So strategic choice is the same as strategic choice. Is the same as strategic choice in the former picture. In the former picture, the same one. After the company or organization chose the best strategic choice, now we are going to utilize SR functions to help the organization to achieve the goal. Okay, strategic choice. You can go back to the former picture. You can see the same strategic choice. That's right. Yeah, the same one. But this is the company strategy or organization strategy. Okay. Yes, the same one. So to go to the next page. Go to the next page. Okay, so the same one as this one. That's strategic choice. You can see. Yeah, the same one. Now, this is the second stage. Second stage, we use HR, human resource functions, in order to supplement, to help the organization. Just to see, first of all, when we know the strategy of the company or the in here, I would like to say the use organization or use company, because this is a very private sector. So strategic choice of the company, for example, what kind of strategy we use? What kind of strategy? So there are so many strategy in business. In business, there are many strategy. Okay. So we don't know what kind of strategy we are going to use. We are going to employ. We don't know exactly right now. I will tell you later. But if we have already chosen one strategy, so we have to consider what kind of human resource needs we want. What kind of human resource needs we want. So that means what kind of people we want to utilize in our company in order to match with the strategic choice. Okay. So we will talk in general, in concept that the needs, what kind of people we need. What kind of people we need? There are three things we need. The first one, what kind of skill we need. The second one, what kind of behavior we need. And the third one, what culture we need. The culture means company culture or corporate culture. Okay. The behavior means the behavior of individual employee. The skill means the skill of individual employees. So what kind of skill, what kind of behavior, and what kind of culture we need from those people in order to make company strategy successful. So please remember, just remember, skill, behavior, and culture. What kind of skill, what kind of behavior, and what kind of culture of those people we need in order to make the strategy choice to realize the company goal. Okay. And so the second box is human resource needs. What kind of people we need according to different strategy that we chose. Okay, if we already know that what kind of human resource need we want, skill, behavior, and culture, how can we attain? How can we receive these three needs? How can we do it? How can we make to get these three needs? How? by HR functions. By HR function, you can see the arrow, the head of the arrow, yeah, from HR need to HR practice. That's right. That's the arrow, yeah. Can see the arrow? Yeah. The arrow point to HR practice. Yeah. You can see arrow, point to HR practice. HR practice means HR function that we utilize in order to get HR needs. HR practice right now it is equivalent to HR function. There are so many HR functions, but we don't use all of them. We will try to adapt and try to apply those functions by using some practices in order to make to receive the people, the HR needs. So what kind of skill we want, what kind of behavior we want, what kind of organization culture we want. So we utilize HR practice. Okay. HR practice and HR function I have already explained to you. Okay. So if we employ HR practice and in order to achieve at HR needs, skill, behavior, and culture. And then after that, you can see the arrow, the head of arrow indicate and pointing down to HR capability and HR action. You can see HR capability and HR action. Yeah. After you utilize or employing HR practice, you will get two things. The first thing is HR capability. The second thing is HR action. However, you have to keep in your mind what kind of people you need, skill, what kind of behavior, what kind of culture you need, and then you utilize employing HR function and HR practice. Then after that, you will receive two things. The people who have capability. What kind of HR capability? You can see skill. So you want the people who have this kind of skill. So then you employ the HR practice by recruiting the right people, try to train them, and then they will get the skill you need. So this one belong to individual employee. So skill, you can get skill, okay? You can get skill, HR capability, including skill. And you can see HR capability, you can get ability, and you can get knowledge. So knowledge, skill, and ability belong to individual. HR capability consists of skills, ability, and knowledge. You can see, because you keep in mind what kind of human resource needs you want to have. Then after you go into the process of HR practices, you will get the people who have skill, who have ability, and who have knowledge. So this characteristic belong to individual person. Okay. At the same time, after getting through the HR practice, you will get HR action as well. So HR action, what is the HR action? It means employees' contribution to the company, like behavior they express, and the results of their action. So behavior and results is the action come from individual and the whole employees. And then you can see that it's action. Not only HR action will lead to firm performance. The contribution of individual people and the whole people in your company will contribute or lead to firm performance. You can see arrow. Arrow will go to firm performance. Okay. Firm performance. What is the meaning of firm performance? The performance is success or failure. That is the firm performance. If the firm performance success, it means you can increase productivity, you can increase quality, and you can increase profitability. If your firm action not successful, your firm performance, it means you lose, you are unproductive, you have no quality of your products and services. You get lost, something like that. So you see, right now we are talking about what kind of men in our organization can contribute to the strategic choice. First, we want to know what kind of people we need. So that's why it is HR needs in the second box. And then how can we achieve this one? How can we get this one? So we need HR practices. And then after we experience HR practices, we will get two things: HR capability and HR action. And HR action will lead to firm performance. So this picture is quite complicated, and it includes. I just try to explain that these 6 elements very important. You need to remember or memorize it, and it is logical, very logical. So if you understand this one, later in the next week's lecture, we will go into details of each one too. What kind of recruitment, what kind of training, what kind of performance. But right now, we will understand that what kind of people we need, and then through these tools, we will get HR capability, and we will get HR action separately. HR capability belong to individual person. HR action belong to the company. Okay, and then we read to the success or failure of a firm. We confirm performance. Okay, I will really happy to have any question. If you don't know anything in this picture, let me know. Okay.
Any question, student?
Is it difficult?
Is it clear enough, student? Action.
Saya Bu Eva mau nanya,
Oh ya. Siapa ini?
tapi bahasa Indonesia nggak apa-apa ya Bu?
Nggak apa-apa. Ya, Hafiz ya. Oke, Hafiz, silakan. Action. Tunjukin
Bu.
kameranya dinyalain aja, nggak apa-apa, Hafiz.
Ampun Bu, sampun.
Oh ya, silakan.
Action.
Jadi gini Bu, nanti bagaimana sih Bu cara mengevaluasi formulasi strategi itu yang kurang berjalan dengan baik dalam manajemen strategi? Itu gimana ya Bu caranya Bu?
Formulasi ini.
Action.
Ya. Ini atau yang ini? Ini ya berarti ya.
Action.
Apa?
Iya Bu.
Bagaimana cara?
Jadi mengevaluasi formulasi strategi yang kurang berjalan dengan baik dalam manajemen strategi.
Ya. Ada lagi?
Action.
Any question, student? One more question, maybe. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Ajahan, there
Yep.
is one question
Okay.
about strategic formulation.
Mm.
How to evaluate this strategic evaluation formulation that doesn't goes smooth or goes with all of facing the obstacle.
Okay. So how to evaluate this for strategy formulation? How it more appropriate or not with the external and internal environment? So it depends on individual, company, and leadership style of the executive, and also the participation of employees as well. So I mean that for example, different company might have different mission and different goals, and they might evaluate external and internal analysis differently. So it depends on the knowledge, many skill, and also the capability of the leaders who try to include all factors together and try to think that what direction we are going to go in the future. So you see that when I talk about the strategy or strategic management, the only thing that is different from the planning process in the past is to about evaluate the environment. So the different company, different business, they face different environments. So it depends on individual leaders of individual company as well to evaluate those environments. They might have clear objective, clear goal, but they might mislead or might not understand the situation well enough. So when they try to consider the whole thing to make decision for strategic choice, they might not have enough information to do that. So I say that it depends largely on individual leadership as well. Okay.
Is it clear, Taufik? Siapa dia tadi ya? Siapa tadi? Ya, Hafiz, is it clear?
Saya, Bu.
Jadi
Yes.
depend on the leader and depend on the organization how to evaluate, karena yang tahu karakteristik organisasi adalah the organization itself. Yeah, maybe there is one question more.
Yeah.
Any other question? Okay. Enough, Hafiz.
Okay. I would like to say that strategy. Okay, please just go back to next one. No, to the implementation. Go to the implementation. Okay. So this one, this picture, you see that if I'm going to explain to you what kind of HR needs in different situations. One company want to have HR needs skill, behavior, and culture. different from the other company in the another situation. So the HR need will vary from one company to the other company. It depends on what kind of strategy they use. So what kind of HR need? What kind of HR need? What kind of skill? What kind of behavior? And what kind of company culture we want? Depend on strategy we utilize or we employ. Depend on strategy we chose. Okay. So right now, the next page, we will come back to this page again later. But we will go to next page because we are going to talk about different strategy in different situation. Okay. Okay. So we will come back
Prof.
later.
Thanks.
Later we will come back here. But right now we go to next page to see what kind of strategy we have. Please go to next page. Okay. So right now, difference. This is as I mentioned. Right now I will focus on private sector or business sector only because we will. Right now I will try to focus on business sector, not public sector. Okay.
Pardon, Ajahan, 3 minutes left.
3 minutes
left.
Oh, okay. So I think right now you see that because you know that this our topic today is really big topic, very big topic. Right now we have 3 minutes only, and then I would like you to read on my paper. So I think maybe this one I have to talk to you later again. Yeah, I will go to tell all of you that what kind of strategy we want depends on the situation of individual company. Every company has product life cycle like this: formation, growth stage, maturity, and decline stage. Every company, every products, they face the same thing. Okay. So what kind of strategy we use depend on what state the company belong to. If our company belong to the growth stage, we use growth strategy. If our company is at maturity state, we use concentration strategy. And if our company is going to decline, we use outsourcing strategy. Okay. So go to next page. Okay, please. Go to next page. No, next page. Next one. Okay. Okay. So this one is the product life cycle. Growth state, concentration strategy, and downsizing strategy. Okay, go to next page. Next one. Okay. So this is the strategy we use. If the growth strategy we use internal growth strategy and external growth strategy. So what kind of human needs? As I mentioned, skill, behavior, and culture. So it depends on practices, training, staffing, compensation, and performance management. If we use internal growth strategy, we use very niche. We need many people skill, and we have to hire and promote from within or from outside. We spend money to for incentive, something like that. And if we use external growth strategy, that is different because we combine the other company with us in order to grow faster. So we use different practice. We use different HR practice. from the internal growth strategy. Okay, go to next page. So if we are in the stage of maturity, we use concentration strategy. If we go to the decline situation, we use downsizing strategy. Different practices. Below is different practices we use in different strategy. Okay, different strategy use different practices, and different practices bring to human needs different human needs. Human needs come from different strategy. Okay, go to next page. Okay, so this is the last page. The last page is if you want to be HR professionals or you want to be the expert in human resources, you need 4 competency. You need to know the business operation, business strategy. You need to know how to do business. Okay. The second one is professional and technical knowledge. If you want to be HR professional, you need to know about the functions of the human resources. You need to be the expert to know the process of human resources. And the last one is ability to change. So because different strategy need different kind of behavior, need different culture. So you have to adjust yourself to become the same with the strategy you use. If your company want you to work hard, you need to work hard. You have to apply practice to make the people in your organization work hard. If you are in the decline, so you have to downside. Sometimes you don't need to grow up. You have to sell your company. You sell some part of your company, sell something out because the situation not good. You need to change your behavior. You need to change, manage change. Okay. And the last one is you have to combine all this competency together. You are the people, the person that can adjust yourself, can know the business, can be expert in human resource functions. So this one is the best for human resource expertise. Okay. So okay, this is my last page of my presentation today. I think in fact I need more time to elaborate in details. But I think this is just only that the HR function, HR practice can be applied to different strategy. Different strategy depend on different situation. One thing we talk about product life cycle. On company or on corporation, they have the same. Even our life, we have a life cycle. That's right. So the company also have the same. It depends on how long they can survive. Okay. I think I stop giving lecture right now, but I still need some contribution, questions, something like that. Okay. And if you don't understand anything, I am happy to explain more. Okay.
Any question, student? I think Mr. Ajahan Samrit, because at 10 o'clock the student have to attend another lecturer.
I see.
Another lecture, and I think if there is any question, the student can message me or message on WA group, on WhatsApp group. Then next week we discuss together before.
Okay. Very good. Because so you send me the questions. Okay, I will write down in detail. explain in my answer. Okay, I will write down. Okay.
Thank you, Ajahan Samrit. Thank you, Mas Pak Udin. Thank you, student. Thank you, Pak Pras. Or thank you all participants. Pak Farid, Ajahan Samrit. There are some lecturer attending this following this lecture on YouTube channel.
YouTube. Okay. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
So I have to say something that because time is over. I think we can discuss in next week. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye bye everyone.
Bye bye everyone.
Thank you, Ajan.
Mas
Thank
Isma
you,
boleh
thank you.
bergabung ke mata kuliah selanjutnya. Terima kasih semuanya. Kita ketemu
See
lagi
you.
next week. See you.
See you, Ajan.
Okay. See you again. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof.
Let me leave the meeting, Prof. Ajahan. Oh ya, sudah.
Oh, sudah.
Oke, terima kasih ya.